Do you often watch watercolor tutorials and wonder how the watercolor masters create such beautiful painting effortlessly? But when you try, things look very difficult, messy, unruly, uncontrollable, right? You are not alone. Hello everyone, this is Ambali Bhattacharya from Imbai Ambali Art Cafe, and today I am going to discuss with you why and how you should choose the best watercolor paper for your successful watercolor paint. Well, this YouTube video I have made in support of my recent article on how to choose your watercolor paper. In this article, I have discussed in detail all the essential informations like how to choose your paper, how to choose the right thickness and the right texture for your, even if you are a beginner, which paper is going to complement your work and which paper will not. You should use a roll, you should use a board, or the wire bound. There are a lot of discussion about the paper. Even I have discussed about the effectiveness of the paper, so that you can buy the best paper without digging too much into your pocket. You must go through the article to gain more insight about the topic. Here in this video, I am going to show you some practical things that I have already discussed in the article. The video illustration is to help you to understand the discussion better. So let's explore the papers with some experiments. I have here Arches 300 GSM CP, that stands for cold press. This is a local brand, 100% cotton and rough, and this is a student grade paper. Now, as I said, I have already discussed a lot about the texture of the paper, about what kind of GSM you should use, why it should be, your paper should be always 100% cotton. I have given all the information, I have discussed everything in my article, and that's why I told you guys that you must go through, you will relate more with this video if you go through the article. So this is Arches 300 GSM paper, and this is 100% cotton. 100% cotton is very much important, whether you are a beginner or obviously if you are a professional watercolorist, you will know why. Even if you are a beginner, 100% cotton paper is must for you. And this is a local brand. This is 100% cotton again, but the texture is rough. Rough means the paper has more grains than the cold press paper, though Archie's cold press paper are much more grainier than the other cold press papers like Fabriano and Canson. Archie's rough is too rough. I mean, it is a personal choice how you use the texture of the paper, what kind of texture you use for your work. This is rough and this is student grade. Now I will show you how the different paper respond to the watercolor pigments. So let me try this one first. So I'm going to take turquoise blue and this is my Arches 300 GSM. So I'm just going to put the color plain flat wash I'm doing here. And the same thing I'm going to do on the student grade paper, the turquoise blue. Same amount of water, same color. And you can see how the paper respond. it is very much visible that the water is not absorbed properly. It is leaving some unwanted effect, where if you see and if you compare these two, this is the difference. This is a local brand, this is not Arches. This is 250 GSM, not 300, but it is 100% cotton. Now I'm going to do the same, and you can see the texture. This is rough, so it is not as smooth as this. This does the work pretty well, not bad. So this is the difference. You can see how the student grade paper works with the pigments, how this is responding and how this is responding. What happens, when you are trying a technique and if your paper is not supportive, you will not get the desired result, and you will get frustrated, and you will not be succeeded in achieving the result, and you will be like thinking that I'm not able to do it. You will be thinking that's your fault, you are not able to do it. But the paper plays the important role. Once you change the paper, the entire game is changed. I'll also do some other weight on weight technique, like I'll just add a little more water, and I have added good amount of water on this paper, and you can see the paper is still straight. It's not buckling up, it's not leaving its it's not feeling like it is rubbed or something. It is still straight, maintaining its quality. And let's see how it reacts to the color. Almost like the way I want it, nicely absorbed in the paper. And the same thing I'm gonna do here. Adding the same amount of the color, sorry, of the water. And you can see since the water is not properly absorbed, my pigment is not responding nicely to this paper. And if I rub it a little bit, I will see the granules of the paper. The paper will feel like it is rubbed off. It will look messy, it will look muddy. So this is the difference. And if I do it on this paper, clean water, and adding the color, still the absorbing quality is better in the Arches. This is 250 GSM, this is 300 GSM. But we can see one thing here. Since this is 250 GSM, this is 300 GSM, this paper is still straight. This paper is little bit buckled up. I don't know if it is visible in the camera, but it is little buckled up. So this is the problem with the GSM, which is like 250. 250 GSM is thinner than 300 GSM. 300 GSM is the ideal, I say, that you must use if you're using weight on weight techniques, and all 300 GSM should be the must one for if you are using too much of water, weight on weight techniques and all. So but this is if you're a beginner, and if you're a budget buyer, this local brand
is good for use. This is 100% cotton, and it complements your work. Of course, Arches and Fabriano's Artistico range, and then other paper like Saunders and all, those are like high quality, very very high quality paper, and if you can use them for your work, there is nothing like this. What I suggest, so because those papers are very, these kind of papers are very expensive, so what you can do, if you are trying something, if you're learning something, you can, just make the paper half and make small paintings, small thumbnail works on them, before just trying on the bigger paper, so that you will not have the fear to mess it up on expensive paper. But at the end of the day, please remember, this is just a piece of a paper, and what you are learning, that is invaluable. And if you're not learning on a good paper, if you're not learning on a paper which complements your technique, which complements your style, then the entire process is disaster. You will be very frustrated at the end of the day, and you will be thinking that watercolor is not my medium, and you will choose to quit. That is the problem. So this is the student grade watercolor paper that I always say, do not use. Do not use even if you are a beginner, even if you are doing it for first time. So that's it. That is the thing I just wanted to show you. Nothing much. Rest of everything I have already discussed in the article, that in detail, like what is the GSM, what is cotton, what does it mean, and why you should choose the best paper, how it complements your work, also about the cost effectiveness, and what is good if you're a plein air artist. Everything I have discussed in detail in the article. Here in the video, I just wanted to show you in practical that how it works. If you still see that this is the water here in the arches is completely absorbed, you can see a nice effect, translucent and transparency. You can see here. Here you can see because it is a rough paper, you can see fine grains here. Since this is 250 GSM and not 300 GSM, you can see the water is still there, till it creates a kind of a little bit of flood on the paper, as I have used the same amount of water. And the paper is little, if you can see the gap from the table, that means the paper is little buckled up. And if you see this one, this is very much weight, and you can see there is hardly it is complementing the technique. So next time you buy your watercolor paper, I hope my article and this video is going to help you to know more about your watercolor techniques, to know more about watercolor. Do follow us and do subscribe to us, and I'm sure we are going to enrich you with more informations. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day.